Hello, today we'll be looking into the real-life inspiration of Messmer the Impaler from Elden Ring's upcoming DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you all again for the support on the latest 2 Elden Ring lore videos. Initially I was planning to just do the Frenzied Flame video and then move on to another topic entirely, but having seen the reception it got, I had to do a couple more. Messmer the Impaler will most likely be a boss in the upcoming DLC Shadow of the Erdtree, and everyone who watched the trailer, myself included, were left speechless at how badass he looks. He's accompanied by a snake and uses fire-based spells, and given his name, he has a spear. As far as his identity is concerned, we are delving into theory territory, but I believe him to be another child of Marika, given the fact that he mentions a mother in his dialogue in the trailer.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft?
Given the title of the video, we will look into the real-life inspiration of Messmer the Impaler, and perhaps this will help us in uncovering what is his role in the grand scheme of things, and potentially help us in either unveiling his identity or improving and creating other theories. I fully believe that Messmer the Impaler is a reference to the real-life medieval ruler Vlad the Impaler, but before we get to him, let's look at a brief history of Vlad Dracul, the father of Vlad the Impaler. Already I'm confusing you with so many Vlads, but keep in mind that Vlad Dracul is the father of Vlad the Impaler. So Vlad Dracul was summoned to Nuremberg together with other high dignitaries of the realm. In the early dawn of February 8, 1431, a most unusual ceremony took place in the double chapel of the imperial fortress, which involved Vlad's induction into the Order of the Dragon. The order had originally been founded by the Holy Roman Emperor in 1387. A principal aim of this order was the defense and propagation of Catholicism against the Turks. When he eventually returned to his native country, Vlad was called Dracul by the boyars, who knew of his honor because he was a draconist, a member of the Order of the Dragon, dedicated to fighting Turks and heretics. On the other hand, the people at large, unfamiliar with the details of Vlad's investiture in the Order, seeing a dragon on his shield and later on his coins, called him Dracul, with the meaning of the devil, because in Orthodox iconography, particularly those icons that depicted Saint George slaying a dragon, the dragon symbolized the devil. Now his son, Vlad III, is known as Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Țepeș in Romanian historiography. This sobriquet is connected to the impalement that was his favorite method of execution. What is also interesting is that if and only if Messmer was exiled into the Land of Shadows, we also have a striking similarity between him and the real-life Vlad the Impaler. Vlad's first period of exile occurred during his youth, when he and his family were forced to flee Wallachia due to political turmoil. During this time, Vlad and his brother Radu sought refuge in the court of the Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II. While in exile, Vlad and Radu were held as hostages by the Ottomans, serving as pawns in the complex and political dynamics between the Ottoman Empire and Wallachia. Now, how does this all have to do with Messmer? Well, the theory that I believe in is that Messmer perhaps has something to do with the God Devouring Serpent, based on his dragon eye, the overall imagery, and the connection from the real-life history, the chivalric order called the Order of the Dragon, whose symbol was that of a cross with 4 tongues of fire. Is this fire a connection to Messmer's flames? People tend to point out that his eye is draconic, not serpent-like. However, the word dragon comes from the Latin draca, meaning snake. In ancient Greek, dracon means serpent or giant sea fish. Dragons in history were likely based on snakes. Our ancestors were afraid of snakes, so this is why early dragons had serpentine-like forms. Near Eastern mythology often depicted snake-like dragons with legs and claws to make them more scary. His armor, looking very similar to the Drake Knight set, is also reminiscent of Dragon Communion. So the Dragon Communion is themed around eating dragon hearts in order to become a descendant, a son of the ancient dragons. Godwin admired ancient dragons, while Messmer seems to have been a hunter of them and ate modern dragon hearts. This is also relevant since Dracula, the name of Vlad III, actually means the son of the dragon or the son of the devil. In our previous video, we talked about how Marika is clearly an allegory to Christianity. Well, this could potentially help us with our theory of Messmer's exile in the lands of shadow. Vlad III, Dracula, was imprisoned by King Matthias Corvinus on falsified charges of heresy. Vlad's father was Orthodox, but relied heavily on the Western Church, even becoming part of the knights above mentioned. When he became a ruler of Wallachia, Vlad Cepes wanted to rid his country of noble and Catholic influence. However, there are conflicting accounts regarding Vlad III's excommunication by the Catholic Church. While some sources suggest that he was indeed excommunicated, others do not provide concrete evidence to support this claim. Despite his controversial actions and conflicts with the Church, Vlad III Dracula's legacy is complex and multifaceted. While he is often remembered for his brutal methods of governance, he is also revered by some as a defender of Christianity against Ottoman expansionism. So why was Messmer exiled? Well, again, I think his exile has something to do with the God Devouring Serpent. The God Devouring Serpent was originally a deity that was worshipped by the natives of Mount Gelmir. Their religion consisted of ritualistic sacrifices offered to the serpent, as is the case in the description of the serpent god's curved sword. So it says that curved sword fashioned in the image of an ancient serpent deity and tool of a forgotten religion practice on Mount Gelmir. Formerly used to offer up sacrifices, this sword restores HP upon slaying an enemy. Traitor Rykard, upon arriving on Mount Gelmir, began an extensive study into its regional powers and ancient rites, through which he created sorceries such as Magma Shot and Gelmir's Fury, both of which were developed from the ancient hexes of the magmas of Mount Gelmir. Going back to real life, there are tons of religions that foretell of a world-eating serpent. We got Falak, Jormungandr, Ouroboros, to name a few. In our case, it could mean the literal burning of the World Tree, or the Erdtree. We know that the serpent is described as a traitor to the Erdtree, with depictions of serpents as strange mouths in the comments clearly pointed out. That is the case for the duelist armor. The duelist helm reads, bronze helm decorated with innumerable snakes, worn by gladiators who were driven from the Colosseum. The wearer becomes a slightly easier target for foes. The snake is viewed as a traitor to the Erdtree, and the audience delighted in seeing these bronze effigies beaten and battered. Also, the depraved perfumer robe depicts a snake, which, according to its description, the embroidery on the apron is itself a curse upon the Erdtree. These heresy-inclined perfumers imbibe their own spices to alter their body and mind. Their slow descent into self-destruction is what earned them their name. Speaking of perfumers, the Spark Aromatic says, art of the perfumers who fought in the Shattering, craftable with a perfume bottle. It uses FP to broadly scatter sparks in a wide arc straight ahead. Though fire was prohibited to those who served the Erdtree, this rule was forgotten as the war drew ever on. Is Messmer somehow connected to either Rykard or the God Devouring Serpent itself? Did Messmer really burn the Erdtree? I guess we have to wait for the DLC to find out, but as a conclusion to this video, the enigmatic figure of Messmer the Impaler, teased in the Shadow of the Erdtree trailer, presents a fascinating blend of historical allusions and speculative lore. Drawing inspiration from the famous Vlad the Impaler, Messmer's potential role in the grand scheme of Elden Ring's narrative hints at layers of complexity yet to be unveiled. Ultimately, delving into Messmer's real-life inspiration not only enriches our understanding of his character, but also invites us to ponder the broader themes of power, sacrifice, and betrayal that define the lands between. As we eagerly await the release of Shadow of the Erdtree, one thing remains certain. Messmer the Impaler stands as a testament to the enduring allure of lore and the boundless creativity of FromSoftware storytelling. Also, he will stand firmly on my desk since I pre-ordered the collector's edition.